What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Doppler's Gear Garage. Have we got a show for you? Great to see everybody. Welcome back. Okay, well, what have we got on the plate today? Well, we got all sorts of modal madness. Now, I'm not seeing any comments and reactions yet. I must not be playing hard enough. Hello, Melissa Doppler. Thank you, love. All right. So in any case, welcome to Doppler's Gear Garage. It is Saturday, December 9th. And have we got a show about what I'm going to refer to as Mode Smart? So do me a favor. Before we go any further, do me a favor. Jump in on the chat and let me know where it is that you're coming from and what you want to know most about modes. Not everybody at the same time. Interesting. We don't seem to have any of our usual Saturday morning folks along with us. This is kind of interesting. Okay. Well, first of all, it shows that there are some folks watching, but I'm not seeing any comments. Ladies and gentlemen, come say hello. Come say hello. Come say hello. Come say hello.
Hey, Doug.
Yeah?
On Facebook, there's just like a 1-minute clip and then you haven't gone live. The same thing happened on YouTube, but you're live on YouTube.
Interesting. All right, what's going on with you over here? 1 minute. All right, there we go. Interesting. All right, we are fixing this little issue right here. Public, gosh darn it. All right, we are fixing this little issue right here. Nothing like a little bit of feedback there. Okay, let's try that again. Nothing like a little bit of feedback there. Okay, let's try that again. Hey, what's going on, Nick? Mark, what's happening? Hello, hello, hello. There we go. New gear day.
Nick? Mark, what's happening? Hello, hello, hello.
All right, let's solve this little issue right here. Gosh darn it. Interesting. There we go. All right.
Mark, what's happening? Hello, hello, hello.
All right, let's solve this little issue right here. Gosh darn it. All right, there we go. You would have thought. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Doppler's Gear Garage. All right, Nick, Thanks so much, man. All right, Mark, new gear for you. NGD with a Strandberg Bowden Prague NX6. Well done, dude. All right, Melissa. Okay, hello to everybody there. We had a strange little snafu. Nothing like getting back into the groove of things and having a little technical difficulty. Problem solved. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be talking about modes today. Mode smart. One of the things that eludes people is kind of the how they make the jump from pentatonic to modes and how they do that. No more backpack envy at guitar camps. I love that. For those of you who don't know, the Strandbergs have these very cool little backpacks, and you can kind of notice that it's one of those instruments by the way you kind of see it in a little backpack. So that is what he's referring to. So again, congratulations, Mark. So Mark and I have actually spent some time talking about modes. He has, I don't know if you've still got, Mark, you still got that poster up on your wall there? But kind of one of the journeys that I think all of us make is how do we go from actually kind of taking the modes to being something that we're just practicing as shapes and turning into something that we're actually working on that allows us to create melodic ideas and to create solos that are interesting. And the interesting part of this, each of these modes has its own vibe and its feel. So once you kind of get comfortable with recognizing the vibe and the feel and then beginning to kind of bring that underneath your fingertips, that's a huge part of this. So what I wanted to do today was kind of an interesting example of how we get there. So we're going to take that very strange, oh my word, I've got a little AI going on. Hey, that was, all right. Not AAI, AI. Okay. In any case, so the deal is as follows. If we were to take the major scale, and I want you to grab your guitars, ladies and gentlemen, and I want you to take the notes of the A major scale. And those notes, basically, if you take the open string, you're going to play at the 2nd fret, 4th fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, 9th fret, 11th fret, and 12th fret. And those notes collectively are A, B, don't be scared of it, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, and A. And what we're going to do is we're just going to start off and play this very simple song, Frère Jacques, but it's going to really help us get used to one very important thing, is beginning to hear melodies as they're kind of displaced across a mode, and getting comfortable with thinking about things both in terms of what scale degree number things are functioning as and what note name is happening there. Why does that matter? Because as you're kind of cruising around, let's say, you're in the key of A major, but you're on the high E string, being able to go, all right, there's my 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And as we were kind of mapping this little bit of business down here, as I kind of went from A to B to C sharp to D to E to F sharp to G sharp to A, the half steps occurred in the major scale between the 3rd and 4th notes and the 7th and 1st notes. I should say the 7th and the octave, or the octave and the 7 and the 4 and the 3. So everything else, other than those notes, it's going to be a whole step apart. So what I want you to do with your first finger is do a little bit of that. All right, now what we're going to do is we're actually going to call those. Do me a favor, grab a piece of paper while you're at it. A lot of high request factor here, but do me a favor, grab a piece of paper and a pencil. All right, now with that piece of paper and pencil in hand, what I want you to do is write from left to right. A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, And then underneath that, I want you to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. What's going on, Steve? How you doing, my man? All right, now, as you kind of have that A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A business written down there, I want you to write a little H in between the C sharp and the D, and that G sharp and the A, and the ditto down below between the 3 and the 4 and the 7 and the 1. Awesome, great, Steve. Good, 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 good. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to learn to just kind of think of that as A, B, C sharp, B, C sharp, D, C sharp, D, E, D, E, F sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, F sharp, G sharp, A, G sharp, A, B, and A, B, C sharp. And what's neat about that is you begin to kind of see it linearly. It really kind of begins to take a key. Christopher Colombo, what's going on, my man? It gives us the ability to kind of look at things both in terms of how the notes lay out. In this case, we're picking A. Why do we pick A? Because it's a nice key to play guitar in. If we were going to play the minor pentatonic, my guess is we would probably start off at A. So it's a good starting place. But the key of A major, not necessarily super friendly, but it's really good for this particular example. So again, what you've got on that piece of paper hopefully is A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. And underneath that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. So you can kind of think of that interchangeably between the note names and the scale degree numbers and note names. And if we were to take that relationship and just sing it down here, we could see it here. Now, a couple of kind of little fingering hacks. Once you can see that the half steps occur between the 3 and the 4 and the 7 and the 1, or the 1 and the 7 and the 4 and the 3 going backwards, you can also then begin to kind of look at how that's going to impact your fingerings. That is it's opposed to kind of playing lateral fingerings initially. We're just kind of working with these linear fingerings, and we can think of it as the note names. But the other thing is, let's start off with just the scale degree numbers. If you're thinking about that it happens between the 3 and the 4 and the 7 and the 1, it means that the 1, 2, and 3 are all kind of a whole step apart. As we move to the 2, 3, and 4, that half step falls between the upper two notes. 3, 4, and 5, half step falls between the lower two notes. 4, 5, and 6, no half steps. 5, 6, and 7, no half steps. 6, 7, 1, and it falls between the upper two notes. 7, 1, 2, the lower two notes, and then back to the 1, 2, and 3, consecutive whole steps. What's going on? Eric, Stevie Ray, Andrew Vaughn. So there are a couple of things going on here. One is that, first of all, by thinking about the note names, Shane Wise, what's going on, my friend? Great to see you. Hello, hello. By thinking about the note names, it allows us to take a key that is a little pesky, like the key of A major. And begin to tame it. And again, recognizing that the half steps fall between the 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, which means since everything else is a whole step, gives a logic for the way the fingerings fall, right? So once you recognize that relationship of basically the half steps falling between the 3 and 4, you can take it to a different key and move it around. And that's kind of one of the things about all of this is when you begin to recognize the sequence shape-wise underneath your fingertips of the major scale, in a linear sense, it really begins to free you to be able to play on any string anywhere. So again, keeping in mind that the half steps occurred between 3 and 4 and 7 and 1, there's one really important thing happening inside the sequence here. When we get to the 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, and 7, we get what I refer to as a double-double. only spot where you can play kind of two, if you will, pairs of consecutive whole steps. So what's going on, Jimmy Wood? Thank you so much. Hello, Paul Richard. Good morning to you. Jimmy Ward. All right, so the deal is, as you see, just the first, just basically a single double, whole and a half, half and a whole, double double, whole and a half and a whole, and the single double. You can take that sequence and start it anywhere, like G. Or, I don't know, C sharp. And it makes working in different odd keys kind of easy. That's B flat. So do me a favor, take your first finger, move it down to the first fret on the fifth string, and that's B flat. Not necessarily the most guitar friendly key, but if we go basically two whole steps together, thank you, a whole step and a half step and a whole step, two whole steps, another two whole steps, a whole step and a half step and a whole step, and two whole steps. That's the sequence ascending. Let's take that again. Two holes, a whole and a half and a whole, two whole steps, a whole and a half and a whole, and two whole steps. Let's put that together. Going backwards from high to low. Two holes, a whole and a half and a whole. The first of the double double, so two holes. Another two holes, a whole and a half and a whole, and two holes. All together. So the cool thing, Matt King, what's going on? Great to see you, my friend. That was a shredding live stream there, my friend. Okay, Jimmy Jet, what's happening? Good morning to you. So here's the thing about this, is there's a certain amount of what we do on the instrument that's purely muscle memory. If we said minor pentatonic A, we have so much of that time on the instrument mapped in that key that we don't really need to think about the notes. The same thing holds true once you get comfortable with being able to play the major scale by touch. That is, again, two whole steps, whole and half and a whole, two holes, another two holes, a whole and a half and a whole, and two whole steps. And you begin to, Brian, what's going on? You just begin to commit that to muscle memory, so no matter where you play it, we were in the key of A. The other great thing about this is we kind of back up with that piece of paper that I had y'all start with at the beginning, is Craig Parker, what's going on? Great to see you. Nice to see all my good friends showing up here. Backing up a step, just in case I hadn't mentioned this before, I want to encourage you to grab a little piece of paper. On that piece of paper from left to right, write A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. And underneath that, write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. And between the C sharp and the D and the G sharp and the A, write a little H, as in half step. Everything else is a whole step. Same thing between the 3 and the 4 and the 7 and the 1. Rob Walton, what's going on, my man? I was yapping about you just yesterday to my wife. I hope things are going well for you. You're in Washington, right? Stefano, bonjour. All right. Sorry, every so often I'm playing, so I can't always bring everybody in. Gabe Metzger, what's going on, my man? Great to see you. Love that photo. All right, good. Washington, D.C. it is. Thank you. All right, so getting back to this thing, what I'm trying to do, and I'm doing okay, I think I'm doing okay, is I'm going to increasingly use this channel as a way to kind of, first of all, we're going to be talking about new pieces of gear, and kind of probably in the new year, I'm going to launch kind of the thing that I'm cooking up in the back of my head about how I want to frame this experience for people, because there's new pieces of gear that come out that we can test and do stuff with in real time. The other thing is also to help people with their guitar experience in mass. It's going to be one of the things I'm going to be doing more of in the new year, and I'm planning out some course curriculum, and I'm wanting to take people on a journey with the instrument that hopefully enables them to excel at what they're doing. And one of the pieces of this is really kind of developing what I refer to as pathways. And the thing is a lot of people, when it comes to playing the modes, they're not necessarily super comfortable doing anything other than playing repetitive patterns that sound like scales. Versus, if we're in the key of A major, and part of that, first of all, just it's get comfortable with really the sound of kind of how these notes, if you will, fall out in order. This is one of the reasons I had, Nick, so funny thing that you say that. I'm really glad that you said that. Make it look so easy. So the interesting thing about this, and I will admit, I'm in mid-process. Playing the modal scale of a 1-4-5 or a 1-2-5. Okay, I'm gonna make a mental note of that. And we're gonna come back to that. So this concept of making it look so easy. So first of all, the foundation, if you will, of laying the track, right? That is to say, and the reason I picked A, as I mentioned, is a really good key because you can kind of go up and you can go down. It's not necessarily the most friendly key, but because we spend so much time in A, A minor pentatonic with a little natural 3 in there, the idea of being able to go A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, and that's why I begged you to write it down on that piece of paper. The notes A, and that's A, hold the B, hold the C sharp half to D, hold the E, hold the F sharp, hold the G sharp half to A. And that just allows you to also kind of have a visual marker for that key up and down the neck. Now what we're going to do, and good morning, Dr. Phil. Hello, 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 hello. All right, good. Actually, I'm going to call it dumb luck that I chose A, because I can tell you that most people would go, as we kind of look at the key of A major, there's enough sharps that it's like, oh, let's not go there. As opposed to like, that's really, if we just think about the sequence of whole steps and half steps in the major scale. Again, on that little piece of paper, ideally you wrote down A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, because I want you to begin to think of those kind of as one entity, that the 2 in the key of A is going to be a B. The 3 is a C sharp. And then when you wrote the little H's between the C sharp and the D, just keeping in mind, it's like, really you're saying 1, hold the 2, hold the 3, half to 4, hold the 5, hold the 6, hold the 7, half to 1. But we're expressing it as note names. A, hold the B, hold the C sharp, half to D, hold the E, hold the F sharp, hold the G sharp, half to A. Takes a minute to get used to doing it, but you've got it on that piece of paper so you can practice that. So in terms of, Nick, your comment about kind of making it look effortless, a big part of what my giant aha moments have been over the past couple of weeks have been this whole concept of muscle memory. And muscle memory reveals a couple of different things once you begin to think about what it is that you're playing. That is to say, if I think about my one, if I were to take the notes of the A major scale and play them instead of going like like that. I played them 3 notes on each string. Using the 3-note string modes there, which is again, what are the notes of A major? Look on your piece of paper. A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D. And the neat thing is then you kind of go, oh, that's why that fingering is fingered the way it is. Now, the great thing is as we begin to play that fingering, we can just think about the shape. So what I was just doing there, and I don't have the shape handy to pull up in a diagram, but just take my word for it. That's just the A major 3-note string fingering. What's going to happen when I do this? I've got some old diagrams here. Let me just see what happens when I do this. Who knows what this is going to bring us? That's not going to bring us what we want. Okay. It was a cute idea. I know what I can do. Give me a second here. Let me find a little bit of this. I know exactly what I'm going to do. Okay. Doppler G411. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring up 3-note string fingerings, and we're going to be able to take a look at them right here. Give me a moment. It's going to take me a second to pull them up on the screen here. Come on, launch. Acrobat, thank you. Have a second. And what we're going to be able to do is provide a little bit of the why behind the what in terms of these fingerings. And the idea as we do this, there we go, come here, 3-note string modes, is that it just gives us a sense of why these fingerings are shaped as they are. There we go. Okay, now this is going to be relative to the key of G major. Let's see here. I'm going to go here, and I'm going to go here. All right, so I'm going to go here. There we go. All right, so as we take a look at that first fingering there, although it's written, G, and if you're on a mobile device, my apologies. But basically, if we were to take that first fingering there, it basically is 2 whole steps, starting at the same fret, 2 whole steps, move up 1 fret with the first finger, the other fingers are still in position, basically 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. Then we move up a fret, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4. And collectively, oh, excellent. Steve, thanks so much. Have a great day, and please do come back. So the deal is this, believe it or not, actually is just going A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D. What's going on, Mr. Lucchese? All right, Shane's got it on the DVD. Let me come back to reality here for a quick second as we talk a little bit more about all of that business. There we go. So here's the idea is that these modal fingerings are simply the notes of the whatever scale it is splayed out across the neck laterally. And once you become comfortable with that, you can kind of go, all right, well, per the piece of paper that we've written out, A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. One of the most important things you can do as you're practicing is just get that muscle memory underneath your fingertips. So your fingers begin to recognize those first 6 notes, the first 9 notes, the next notes. And this part about it kind of, if you will, quote unquote, beginning to look and sound effortless really comes from this. And you do it slowly enough times that your fingers just memorize the shape. Just the same way your fingers have memorized that shape. You don't have to think about it. And this is such an integrally important part of the instrument, because then all you do is take that and speed it up a little bit. Hang on a second. I got somebody new with a comment. Craig Chicks, what's aha moment here? Yes! Woohoo! All right. John Mello, what's going on? Brad, what's going on, my friend? All right. So the deal is, this muscle memory becomes so important because, one, then it's just a matter of just doing it over and over. Speed is only doing something you can do well slowly. Faster. And I'm really spending a lot of time, Scout's honor, let me pull up my apps here as proof of this. All right, here we go. So I'm spending a copious amount of time. Gosh, I have way too many apps open. Where are you? Come on. My speed, and per some of the course material I'm working on with mapping out. Here it is. Now, for some folks, just as if you're kind of a little bit new to the 3-note per string modes, 100 BPM, maybe a little bit fast, and that's okay. Jamie Lamb, what's going on, my man? Oh, we got good question. Can I walk through about targeting chord notes and practicing playing over changes? Oh, you guys are ripe with good information. Okay, so let's wrap that thought up and put a bow on it. Okay, one of the things that I'm trying to digest on how to share is how to really, it's as if you go into the kitchen, you're like, you're gonna cook eggs. Grab a little salt, a little bit of pepper, some eggs, and you just kind of like, you know, I'm not the greatest cook in the world, but I can like make good enough eggs that they're edible that I'm not gonna throw it away after the first bite, right? So the idea is the same thing is true with, if you will, cooking with the modes. And the idea is, one, the reason I had y'all and anybody that just came in, I would encourage you to, on a piece of paper from left to right, go A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. Those are the 7 notes of the A major scale. And the reason I wanted to pick those was because A is a good key to be able to kind of go up and down on the guitar. It's also the key where most of us spend the most time with the minor pentatonic. So in turn, being able to kind of go, well, what are the different things that I might be thinking? Well, you know, with the pentatonic, we're not thinking about the note names most of the time. We're not thinking about the scale degrees most of the time. We're thinking about the shape and the sound of the shape. Nothing wrong with that. In fact, that's one of the most important things. Like if I put my hands on the neck, so here's my root. That I actually know it's an F sharp. But the point being is I'm not thinking about the note names. I'm thinking about the sound. Of the notes and the way it feels on the neck. And so that's one of the reasons a little bit earlier on in the broadcast, if you weren't here, I'm just going to recap, is that if you get used to there's my F sharp. I'm going to move it up to A. And we thought about A, B, C sharp, D, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, and A, B, and C sharp, 2 whole steps. B, C sharp, and D, a whole step and a half. C sharp, D, and E, a half step and a whole. D, E, F sharp, 2 whole step. E, F sharp, G sharp, 2 whole step. F sharp, G sharp, A, a whole step and a half step. G sharp, A, and B, a half step and a whole step. and A, B, and C sharp 2 whole steps. Basically, you kind of cruise along with 2 whole steps, half step, add at the top, that half step moves to the bottom. Now we have 2 sets of whole steps, half step at the top, moves to the bottom, another whole step. So that is to say there's only one spot, and that's kind of it, if you will, starting at the 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, we've got 2, that's what I call the double double. That's a one spot where there's 2 sets of whole steps happening next door to each other. Everything else is either going to be a whole step and a half step. I should say 2 whole steps, or a whole step and a half step, or a half step and a whole step, right? But that's the one spot in the scale that happens exclusively, right? So, and conversely, the only spot in the scale where you've got that whole step, the pair of whole steps, I should say, and a half step on the upper side, and that half step on the lower side, that also only happens at one spot. The thing is I'm cruising up and down the scale for whatever reasons. I'm really looking for where what I refer to as the double double, where that occurs. I just do. But the point being is you could look for the single double, and that would be fine as well. In any case, if you think about A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, that gives you the ability to begin to think about these things in terms of the note names. And why this matters is we begin to, hi, Ro, what's going on, man? Great to see you. Hello, hello. Congratulations on that NAMM Saturday night gig. That's going to be a lot of fun. You shredder, you. All right, so let me bring this great little question that, hang on, so let me just read this real quick. For the next course book, have you thought about mapping out playing a major scale is only natural harmonic? What do you mean natural harmonic? Please clarify that for me, my dear friend. Yes, I look forward to answering it. All right, so Rob had this great question. I picked the key of A, first of all. I want to talk a little bit about melody, and I'm going to start there. One of the things I wanted to do, and I just kind of had this crazy idea, is one of the things that I think people have a real challenge with is learning how to take the guitar and play a melodic sound where they're really working on just developing melody. So I figured I would just take some, dare I say, stupid melody that we've kind of done most of our lives. It was, and just kind of begin to go, well, let's begin to map this out and begin to think about what's going on. So let's talk about, instead of playing the open D, I'm going to change my mind. What I want you to do, with me, we're going to say and play the open A string. Here we go. A, thank you. First finger, 2nd fret, 5th string. B, thank you very much. 3rd finger, 4th fret, C sharp. Together, we're going to go A, B, C sharp. One more time. 3, 4, A, B, C sharp. Gosh, I hope somebody's doing this with me. And then D, E, F sharp. So let's go D, E, F sharp. One more time together. 3, 4, D, E, F sharp. Now together, we're going to play those 6 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp. One more time. 3, 4, A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp. And we're going to add that G sharp on the end just so we've got it. Here we go from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp. And backwards. 3, 4, G sharp, F sharp, E, D, C sharp, B, A. Now that, interesting, Phil. So like a natural harmonic on E for the 12th fret on the E string. I need to digest that. I think there's meat on that bone, and I am not able to fully digest that. But I will answer that. I'm going to jump back to this thing before I lose my train of thought. And I love jumping off my train of thought, so I'm a little too good at that. I think one of the things that guitar players are also not great at is knowing where the different harmonics are, right? And what notes. Right, that should be the 151. So that means that's E, B, and E. So how do we begin to learn how to do that? Well, after a while, we begin to recognize that if this is an E, we know that's an E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is a little bit where I wanted to go with the Frere Jacques thing. I'm going to go back to this now. So what I want y'all to do, I want you to call out with me. We're going to go A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A together. 1, and that is say we're playing the open A string, 2nd and 4th frets on the A string, open D string, 2nd and 4th frets on the D string, and then we're going to move up a whole step and hit that G sharp there. So it's going to be this A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp. We might as well move up to the A and then go backwards, repeating that A, G sharp, F sharp, E, D, C sharp, B, A. And yes, going backwards is harder. Let's try it slowly. 2, 3, 4. A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, G sharp, F sharp, E, sorry, D, C sharp, B, A. And I hope I'm not doing this alone. Will somebody please text or type in the chat that they're actually doing it with me. All right, so here's the deal. What we're going to do now is just think of that as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So let's hear that together. Thank you very much, Nandini. Hello. All right, we're going to do the same thing. But calling out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. For saying in pitch. Oh, thanks, Matt. Appreciate it, my friend. We're all the sorts of things that you're not even aware that you're doing. Okay, so here we go, calling out the scale to numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sorry, in time. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, it just gets us used to being able to kind of take a fingering and be able to think about it as the note names. Because normally, what's going on, Chris? Great to see you, my friend. I got your back. Thank you so much. Not alone. Appreciate it. Normally, I would suggest thinking about it as a scale degree numbers first. Why would I do that? Because if we were to take this and instead of doing the major scale, we were to do the mixolydian mode, which instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1, and the notes would go A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G, A, G, F sharp, E, D, C sharp, B, A. You can then kind of go, well, if I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1, you can move that around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 1. But for right now, I really wanted to just hammer home the notes of A major just because I thought it would be important. Normally, I think about the numbers and then just kind of layer the notes on top in whatever key. But in this particular instance, I wanted to start with the note names because I think for many people, it's confronting and it's awkward. So what we're going to do, and by the way, 1, 7, 6, 5. So that's the 5. All right, so what I wanted you to do was kind of in this framework of a melody, really begin to be aware of what's happening both in terms of the note names and the scale degree numbers. What are the harmonic notes and the locations? Best learnings in Sesame Street. I'll take that. Thank you very much. Woohoo! All right, so here's the deal. So basically, what I want you to get comfortable of doing, we are going 1, 2, 3, 2. Sorry, 1. All right, let's get this right. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1. 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1, 1, 5, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1, 1, 5, 1, 1, 5, 1. So that's learning to take something that we're comfortable with melodically and be able to map it into a key. The deal is, if we can think of A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, and A as the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, that's why I put them on the piece of paper like that. I wanted you to start thinking about the note names and get comfortable with thinking about it. If I was thinking 1, 2, 3, 1, we're really going to go A, B, C sharp, A, B, C sharp, A. So let's do that together. 2, 3, 4. A, B, C sharp, A again. A, B, C sharp, A. Then we're going to go C sharp, D, E. Here we go. 3, 4, C sharp, D, E. One more time. C sharp, D, E. So let's do that, all that together. 2, 3, 4. A, B, C sharp, A, B, C sharp, A, C sharp, D, E, C sharp, D, E. Now it picks up a little bit. E, F sharp, E, D, C sharp, A. So that's E, D, C sharp, sorry, E, F sharp, gosh darn it, E, F sharp, E, D, C sharp, A. E, F sharp, E, D, C sharp, A. Gosh, that's hard to think backwards. Okay, slow it down. So again, that's going to be E, F sharp, E, D, C sharp, A. E, F sharp, E, D, C sharp, A. E, F sharp, E, D, C sharp, A. And the last little bit is A, E, A, E, A. So what's neat about this is that if you do it both calling out the numbers, but I would suggest doing it with the note names, it's going to get you, especially E, F sharp, E, D, C sharp, A, E, F sharp, E, D, C sharp, A, E, A. Get you really comfortable with walking through the notes on something that melodically you're not having to memorize what the melody is, but you're learning to map the notes to it. I've been doing it all week, what the harmonic notes and the locations are. Well, you're just ahead of the rest of us, but that's a excellent thing to do. All right, so here's the thing. Getting back to let's see, this one about talk about targeting chord notes and practicing playing over chord changes. So first of all, thank you for all of you humoring me as I was kind of I'm going to hit the pause button and kind of talk about what it is that I'm trying to do. And I'm not there in the process, but I'm working on it. One of the things that I want to do is get good at working with a bunch of people teaching live in real time. And so I kind of knew I was going to do the Frere Jacques thing, but I didn't really have it completely, totally mapped out about what I was going to do and how I was going to do it. I got an idea. Hang on a second. Let's do this real quick. So if you take a look at that first fingering there, that it says G major and 3. If you instead of playing that at the 3rd fret, you moved it up to the 5th fret. In other words, you went stretch 1, 2, 4, stretch 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. That's going to give us. And let's not even add that 4th note there. I should say the 4th finger note there on the 4th string. Let's just go stretch 1, 2, 4, stretch 1, 2, 4, 1, 2. And that's going to be the first octave of the A major scale. And for those of you who have that written down in front of you, that's going to be A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, G sharp, F sharp, E, D, C sharp, B, A. And the neat thing is you can literally just play that fingering and look at the notes A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, G sharp, F sharp, E, D, C sharp, B, A, and be able to call out and play that at the same time. That is going A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, G sharp, F sharp, E, D, C sharp, B, A. And literally you're just kind of layering them. I call it a process of layering. So literally I'm just playing the fingering. And if I had written out on a piece of paper, it just would have gone A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. So I'm just going A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A, while I'm going, and I'm doing it at the same time, A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. And it's a really great way to just kind of begin to thread them together. If you will, you're kind of knitting them together. And then as you begin to look at the neck, which is another part of this, you go A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. And digging back to when we kind of laid these out linearly out on your sheet there, in theory, you've got a little H between the C sharp and the D, and the G sharp and the A. I should say the C sharp and the D and the G sharp and the A. Everything else is a whole step, so you kind of went right. A, hold the B, hold the C sharp, half to D, hold the E, hold the F sharp, hold the G sharp, half to A. So as you begin to see that splayed out here, it's really like taking and then we're going, well, it literally is. And then we're adding just these right there. So that's the G sharp and the A. And it's not how we normally think about fingering these things. We normally go, hey, there's a 3-note string fingering. We're just going to play the shape without necessarily thinking about the note names. Not that there's anything wrong with it. That's actually a really important part. But as we begin to become aware of what's going on here, we are able to target a couple of things. So Mark, that wasn't very good. So if I took and I played the entire shape there, hang on a second. So that is, say I went stretch 1, 2, 4, stretch 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. That first finger coming back into position. So this one's pretty straightforward. Again, stretch 1, 2, 4, stretch 1, 2, 4. First finger comes in position 1, 2, 4. So that is, say the top notes are always 2, 4 on the 7th and 9th frets. We're only going to focus on the first octave, well, and the extra note there, the 9. But if you begin to think about it like that, if we thought about our 1 chord and our 2 chord, 3 chord, 4 chord, 5 chord, 6 chord, 7 chord, and our 1 chord. Sorry, we need to add some more notes here. So the good news is if you take a look at this fingering, one of the neat things about this is it's symmetrical on the 6th and 5th strings, 4th and 3rd, and 2nd and 1st. That is to say it's going to be stretch 1, 2, 4 on the bottom 2 strings. First finger comes into position for 1, 2, 4 on the 4th and 3rd strings. You do a position shift by 1 fret and go 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4 on the top 2 strings. Stretch 1, 2, 4, stretch 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 4, 3, 1, 4, 3, 1, 4, 2, 1, 4, 2, 1, 4, 2, stretch 1, 4, 2, stretch 1. All right, so the deal is, if you can kind of think about playing, instead of going the first 5 notes consecutively, actually do me a favor, let me hear you go the first 5 notes consecutively. I couldn't hear you do that, but I'm going to presume that you did that. Now just take the 1st, 3rd, and 5th of those. So you could see that one of a couple of ways. You could go, all right, I'm playing the first 5 notes, and I'm skipping the 2nd and the 4th of those, so it gave me. And if I took the same concept starting from the 2nd note, and the same concept from the 3rd note, sorry. That's so weird, I'm not used to starting from there. So what that gives us the ability to say, okay, we're going to start off of each tone until we get to the octave, and we're going to go 5 notes, but we're really going to select the 1, 3, and 5 off of the 1, the 1, 3, and 5 off the 2, 1, 3, and 5 off the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see if I can play it right. 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And that's allowing me for my 1 chord. The neat thing about that is I had to take a moment, go, right, I'm playing the 7. That is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's going to be a minor 7 flat 5 chord. Sorry, not if I. There we go. Lovely chord there. I just have to find the 7th note, which is going to be a G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp. I'm going to go up 5 notes. I'm going to pick the 1st, 3rd, and 5th of those notes, and that's the arpeggio. I'm going to play over that chord. So what that enabled me to do per Mark's question is begin to target and isolate what the chord tones are for each one of those. So what's neat about this is that when you kind of have a strategy for understanding how things are functioning in the key, and this is, although you wouldn't normally do it with the Arabic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I had you right underneath there. Normally what I would have you do would be to write uppercase Roman numeral 1, lowercase Roman numeral 2 and 3 with a minus sign next to it, uppercase Roman numeral 4 and 5, lowercase Roman numeral 6 with a minus sign next to it, and lowercase Roman numeral 7 with a minus sign through a little circle, indicating what type of triad you're playing off the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now off the 7, we're actually playing a diminished triad. But the thing is that if we were to go ahead and add the 7, we would play a minor 7 flat 5. And that's different, just for piss and giggles, than a diminished 7, which has a doubly flatted 7. Just take my word for it. If you went up to the 7th mode of the, I don't know, the A major scale as an A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, and we would play that Locrian mode. And we would imagine that Locrian mode compared to the major scale. It has a flat 2, flat 3, natural 4, flat 5, flat 6, and a flat 7. So instead of going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it goes 1, flat 2, flat 3, 4, flat 5, flat 6, flat 7, compared to the major scale. So if you were to take the triad based off of that, you would be playing a G sharp diminished chord. But if you're not careful, you say, oh, well, then I play a diminished 7. Well, a diminished 7 has a doubly flatted 7, which anharmonically, new word for today, anharmonic, basically one pitch with two different either, for example, that's either F sharp or G flat, two different note names, or you can think of it that as could either be a, as it relates to F, that's a flat 2, or as it relates to G, it's a natural 7. So different note names with two different scale names. Let me back up a step. If I were to play the A major scale, and I were to look at its second note, and I were to lower it a half step, that would be a flat 2. And I would be thinking about that as A and B flat. But if I were to play the B major scale, and that's the 1, and it's a half step, looking at your little sheet there, going backwards from the 1 to the 7, that's a half step. So if B was my root, it's a half step to the 7, hold the 6, hold the 5, hold the 4, so on and so forth. That little half step right there, well, this note right here, if this is B, this has got to be some sort of A note. So that, where we started off for the key of A major, we went A and B, and we played a flat 2, that would be A and B flat. But if we're in the key of B major and we move down a half step, that's got to be some sort of A note. So that is a sharp, B major, A sharp, G sharp, F sharp, E. So the point being is that we got that little note at the 6th fret to function as a flat 2 of A or a natural 7 of B, and we also got it to function as a B flat as it relates to A, Phrygian, for example, or an A sharp as it relates to B major. So in any case, that little bit of anharmonic business is hey, what's going on, Jeff? Great to see you. Thank you so much. Matt, Sonia, hello, hello, hello. Okay, hang on a second. Matt, I look forward to seeing you. Always a pleasure, my friend. Happy dad duties. Jeff, always a pleasure. Hey, hey, thank you. The V says hello. Sonia, hello. Working on getting this room together. I see a fulcrum right over there. So sooner or later, my little mousy fulcrum is going to be in the mix here. Just modulated Freshaka into Phrygian melted. Freshaka into Phrygian brain melted. More coffee, please. So the idea is being pliable with these things. So I think one of the examples that Mark said was a 1, 2, and a 5. So let's just say our chord progression is, and if we think about this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. So if we kind of start off the 1 and we kind of go every other note, that gives us the 1, 3, 5 of the 1. We start off the 2, we take the same concept, and then we start off the 5. We end up with 1, 2, 5. So let's say we're cruising over the 1 chord. Go to our 2 chord, and that's now those notes. If we think about it, now we're basically starting the A major scale off of its B note. We're skipping C sharp, which means that's going to be a D. We're skipping the E, that's going to be an F sharp. So that's B, D, F sharp. So we can then begin to build some of these larger arpeggios. Right. Let's have a little fun. Do me a favor. Put your pick against the open B string. And let's go pick, hammer, pull using D at the 3rd fret on the 2nd string. And let's do the same thing with the F sharp at the 7th fret and the B at the 12th fret. All right, so initially what we're going to do is we're targeting the notes of this. Targeting the quote-unquote 2 chord for the key of A. That is, say, if we think about A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, and A, B is the 2. So that chord is B, D, F sharp. So what we're doing is taking that B, D, F sharp, and instead of playing it here, we're playing it here, and using that open B string, so I initially just went, right, and that F sharp there is at the 7th fret on that same string, and then the 12th fret. This is a 3rd, 7th, 12th. We're going to play it together 4 times on each one, and that is a... 1, 2, 3, 4, D, F sharp, D, F sharp. Do me a favor. So on your little piece of paper, just write down B, D, F sharp. And looking at that B, D, and F sharp, play the B and go B. And play the D and call out D. Play the F sharp and call out F sharp. And play the B and call out B. Now what I want you to do is go B, D, F sharp. Sorry, not an E. B, D, F sharp, B. B, F sharp, D, B. Let's do it slower. 2, 3, 4. B, D, F sharp, B, B, F sharp, D, B. A little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. B, D, F sharp, B, B, F sharp, D, B. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to go, we're going to think about the note we're playing as in D, F sharp, B, F sharp. I'm going to call it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. D, F sharp, B, F sharp. A little faster. 2, 3, 4. D, F sharp, B, F sharp. And then you can start to combine them. Sorry. Hadn't expected to do that this morning. So what I'm just targeting is the B, D, and F sharp, and the B, D, and the F sharp. Oh. All right, for those who are of the stretchy-minded, put your first finger at the 12th fret on the 2nd string. 2nd finger at the 15th fret. 4th finger at the 19th fret. We're now playing a B minor arpeggio on 1 string with 1 fingering. Again, it's 1st finger at the 12th fret, that's B. 2nd finger at the 15th fret, that's D. 4th finger at the 17th fret, and that is our F sharp. B, D, F sharp, which came from here, as in, we start off the 2nd degree of that A major scale, whose notes are A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. And if we started at the second degree, A, B, that's a B. We skipped the C sharp, that gave us a D. We skipped the E, that gave us an F sharp, B, D. F sharp are the notes of the 2 chord of the key of A major, whose notes are going to be B, D, F sharp, and we were taking initially that B, D, F sharp, and then we kind of went, well, missed the F sharp there, but basically, let me map through what I was doing there. Pretty obvious, but I was basically hitting the B, D, and the F sharp, going B, D, F sharp, D, B. Matter of fact, let me do it slowly so you can do that. It's a little bit of a stretch. First finger is going to be at the 3rd fret. Again, all this right now is on the 2nd string. First finger is at the 3rd fret. 4th finger is going to be at the 7th fret. We're going to go up from the open string, hammering on, pick, hammer, hammer. Then pick, pull, pull on the way down from the F sharp down. So that is we're going B, hammer on to D, hammer on to F sharp. We're picking the F sharp, pulling off to the D, pulling off to the B. And we're looping that 2, 3, 4. Taking that same concept and placing it for that F sharp and the B. So that's just going to go. Again, that F sharp's going to be at the 7th fret. The B, is it going to be at the 12th fret of the B string? Now the hard part is getting there. So slow it down. So basically we're going to go. Actually, what we're going to do is as follows. We're going to map the placement finger. Phil and Raz, what's going on? Great to see you. Daniel Henry, hello. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off just the hard part of this is, first of all, this relationship here, we're basically playing a 3rd and we're playing a 4th here. So not only are you shifting, but you're moving up the neck. The frets are getting closer together, but we have to add instead of going. That would be F sharp and A sharp, the 7, but we need to move up to the B, which is the 1. Basically, we're going 1, 5, 3, 5, 1, which is going to be B, D, F sharp, and B again. And the hard part, in addition to kind of getting the pinky to do its thing, is literally making sure that we land at the right place with the first finger, which is why. So let's do that. We're going to go B, 4 times the B, 4 times the F sharp. 2, 3, 4, B. Sorry, D and F sharp. 3, 4, D, 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 F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, D, 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 F sharp, F sharp, F sharp, F sharp. So the interesting thing, I'm going to back up for a moment and hit the pause button. I'm so used to thinking of things by the note names that this is a very natural thing for me to do. For some of you, that might be like, holy cow, I'm not used to thinking about things in terms of the note names like that. But once you kind of get used to thinking of things like the note names like that, it kind of becomes manageable. So let me back up just a little bit, just in case you came in at whatever point. We had everybody hopefully write out the notes of the A major scale. A, hold a B, hold a C sharp, half to D, hold the E, hold the F sharp, hold the G sharp, half to A. A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. And I had everybody hopefully write a little H between the C sharp and the D, and the A sharp and the B. Wait. Sorry. Oh, I moved. My bad. Sorry. A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. The C sharp and the D, I started thinking about B there because of that B arpeggio. My bad. And the G sharp and the A. Everything else is a whole step apart in terms of adjacent notes there. So we just said, hey, Rob had this question like, well, what about playing over chord changes? Like one of the ones he talked about was playing over an internal progression that's not moving outside of the key of A major, basically going 1 chord, 2 chord, and 5 chord, which would be basically taking the first, 3rd, and 5th notes to play that over the 1 chord, and taking that same concept. So instead of taking the first 5 notes consecutively, we took the first, 3rd, and 5th, and we took the same concept and did that for the 2 chord. And then we took the same concept for the 5. And you can hear the sound because those are the chord tones that make those up. So then we kind of decided to hang out with this B minor thing for a minute. I kind of went, well, let's do this on. So that's kind of how we got there, right? So some of this is also muscle memory of just getting used to making these jumps. But the neat thing is when you can begin to think about these as the note names, that being D, F sharp, B, D, and F sharp, you're no longer just shooting for, I'm playing this guitar here, so I've got shooting for a dot and a dot and a double dot and a dot and a dot. I'm actually shooting for a D, F sharp, B, D, and an F sharp. So I'm actually shooting for actual note names. And that makes it a lot more manageable. What's going on, Eric? Good to see you. Okay. All right. So the neat thing about this is it gets us used to kind of going, hey, there's a relative major scale. We're targeting this B minor chord. And beginning to get comfortable with thinking about the arpeggio notes. So I was just playing a bunch of B's, D's, and F sharps. And you just get used to getting comfortable with playing with those note names and moving around with them, which is kind of cool. So let's see, and mode variation, instant exotic, absolutely. Now I didn't happen to go to the 3, and I don't think you requested the 3 chord, but let me sit with this for just a second. Let me think about walking this through for just a second. Great point. So let me not shoot that down. That's not what I'm doing. Let me chew on that for a second. Nandini. Okay, hang on a second. All right. What a cool B, D, F sharp. How would you slide this cool lick into a progression or melody that feels like catching a moving train? Could you show an example of some rhythm amicable to this riff? Always awesome to join your live stream. Thanks, Eric. Sure, Nandini. Let me I know, and this is one of the great things about mistakes. Mistakes are one of the greatest tools for understanding what you know and what you don't know. So the interesting thing is, first of all, A major, like I said, I was in the shower. I didn't say I was in the shower, but now I'm telling you, I was in the shower and I thought, Frère Jacques, yeah, let's do that. And we're going to do it in A because it allows us to move up, and when we need to go to that 1 5 1 1 5 1 1 2 3 1 1 2 3 1 3 4 5 3 4 5 5 6 5 4 3 1 5 6 5 4 3 1 1 5 1 1 5 1, and then in turn using that as a vehicle to go A B C sharp A B C sharp A C sharp D E C sharp D E E F sharp E D sorry E F sharp E D C sharp B. I got it right. E F sharp E D C sharp E A. I don't know if I got that right. E F sharp E D C sharp A. There we go. E F sharp E D C sharp A E A. And just gets us comfortable since we know what the notes are harmonically. This one kind of makes it easy to kind of get used to thinking notes. And obviously, as you watch me go, E, F sharp, E, D, C sharp, A, E, D, E, D, E, F, E, D, E, D, C sharp. Going backwards with the note names is not something that comes naturally. So let me, again, hit the pause button on an important concept. Years ago, one of the things that I wanted to do in the act of teaching guitar and showing people how to do whatever it was that I wanted to show them so they could get better at what they do was I wanted to teach people what people who read music for a number of years, some of the things that they understood about how music functions. And because so much of the guitar, we're not normally thinking about the note names, I spent a lot of time focusing on the scale degree numbers. So the ability to go 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1, 1, 5, 1. It's a lot easier to call out the scale degree numbers once you get comfortable with it than it is the note names. So for a number of years, I kind of went, let's just say I'm going to play. First of all, one of the things that I'm toying with amongst a number of different ideas, because what I'm trying to do is help create, and the short version is this, is that in the next couple of months, I'm getting ready to do a bunch of course curriculum, hopefully up the ante for my students, teach at the Vi Academy, create a bunch of content that I'm going to put out just for free on social media, and to try and step into the space of music educator. Look at you. You get a brownie point for that. Not only that, what makes the B minor pentatonic minor? The B, D, and the F sharp. All right, well done. But the idea of figuring out what sort of stuff is going to help people kind of get stuck from whatever their sticking point is. And one of the big sticking points, certainly for me, has been kind of like, how do I begin to integrate note names and how can they unlock some of the stuff on the fingerboard? And so this guy right here, begin to see that B, D, and F sharp. All right, so let me see if I can find a way to answer Nandini's question. Hang on, let me just... Carlos Hernandez, what's going on? Mark Turvey, hello, hello, hello. Eric, am I using Windows any stripped down DAW, basically an 8-track to record guitars with plugins on top of a backing track? You also mentioned backing track. I'm going to be incorporating backing tracks in the midst of all of this. I haven't quite figured all of this stuff out, but today was really kind of a matter of like, I don't know, I'm just going to jump in and let's see what happens. So I appreciate the receptivity. It's affirming because I didn't quite know what was going to happen. And I kind of like that because music should be like that sometimes. George Adams, hello. Spencer, what's going on, my man? All right, Nandini asked about how you could incorporate this I actually, since I know that the notes are D and F sharp. All right, so somebody mentioned the minor pentatonic. So first of all, just because all right, we're in the key of A major. So let me just kind of now jump from note names and integrating thank you very much, Eric. Integrating kind of the note names and kind of shredding using fingering. So first of all, this riff that Nandini was talking about that we kind of spent a minute walking through, again, that's a B minor arpeggio, B, D, and F sharp, fingering the D and the F sharp, F sharp and B, B and D, and D and F sharp. And by the way, once you know where those notes are, it's a lot easier to do. I didn't show you one thing. If you just practice a transition, and also, so that is to say the starting note of, just working on that starting note. Again, and I am thinking about that is a B and that is an F sharp as opposed to the 3rd and the 7th frets. And then going, okay, well, we got to add this pinky note in it. So I might spend a minute having the pinky play the F sharp, and the B. And then now I'm going to try something. I don't know how I'm going to do. I'm going to try and do it by muscle memory. So the idea is that I know I'm going to play some notes wrong, but been learning to go. I'm beginning to get the feel. Basically, keep missing on a half supply. I'm beginning to get that underneath your fingertips, because one of the cool things about that I mentioned earlier is getting these fingerings just so they're underneath your fingertips as shapes that you memorize. I'm going to take the bottom 6 notes of the 3-note string modes to the key of A. So I don't have to think about the shapes. I literally, my fingers. Now if I get to, there I'm at A again. So once I remember where I'm at, and I can hear that right there should be the G sharp, because I know it's the G sharp. Another way I can test. There's my B, open B string, octave. There's my A, that's a G sharp. G sharp, G sharp, G sharp. All right, the point being, there's a certain amount of this. Where I'm just purely playing shapes of the 3-note string mode as well as. But when we go ahead, let's go to the B chord. So to answer your question, Nandini, I went to the B. And now I'm thinking about that stuff there. No. So I'm just kind of messing around there, going between A major. B Dorian. B flat Lydian. That's all right. There we go. So there I was really kind of just taking the sound, the shape. So there's B flat Lydian right there. I just walked up to the top 2 strings and just slid up. And that gets back to that thing I was talking about a minute ago, where if you were to take the key of A major, for example, and played the bottom 6 notes of each one of these. Ed May, what's going on? Love you too, my friend. Hello, hello, hello. So if you can recognize this little shape right here, and this shape, these kind of offsets of the 1 2 4 1 3 4, and the stretch 1 2 4 1 2 4, as in. Sorry, that's going to be the stretch 1 2 3, and then the 1 2 4 1 3 4, and then the stretch 1 2 4 1 2 4. So I can recognize that. That shape happening there. I know the next shape, and that's what I'm going to call. If I take the, let's just say I'm going to go back to the key of A major for a second. That right there, the key of A major, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. The B is the 2. I'm going to call that the 2 shape. And after the 2 shape, wait for it, comes the 3 shape, which is basically starting the A major scale in this case off of its 3rd note. And if I take the first 6 notes, I'm going to think of that as the 3 shape. So basically, when I get up to the top here, sorry, I was in B flat Lydian. I recognize that shape as a 2 shape, which means the next thing is a 3 shape, 4 shape, 5 shape, 6, and the 7. Now here's the interesting thing: is besides the 1 mode and the 5 mode, the first 6 notes of every single one of these modes are different. So if I were to take at A, the first 6 notes of major, and Dorian, and Phrygian, and Lydian, and mixed Lydian, and minor, and Locrian, only major and mixed Lydian have the same first 6 notes. All right, there's a whole conversation happening over here. Hold on a second. What did I miss? Eric, sorry, I am a Mac guy. And in terms of DAW, I just did this very interesting gig, which probably the hardest gig I've ever done, which was in Vegas. What's happening, Paul? Happy holidays to you, my friend. Where all the tracks that I played over were presented to me by the company that I was working for, and it was all done in Logic. I'm a Pro Tools guy. But it was really exciting for me to be able to work in Logic and spend a huge amount of time practicing and prepping and ultimately doing some of the mixing for what I was playing over live. It was a bunch of stems and I was just kind of organizing the levels. That is to say, it was a drum stereo track, left and right, you know, a pair of tracks, a stereo stem of drum tracks, a bass track, some rhythm guitar tracks, and balancing those for what I played over, you know. So it was a really fun gig and the hardest gig I've ever done because there was so much material and so much to memorize. And the interesting thing is, as I kind of began to work on that, I found, as it relates to this conversation, first of all, I'm going to probably use backing tracks for a bunch of different things. So that is to say, you know, let's just say, for example, let's just say, Mandy, to my pleasure. Oh, I'm a little out of tune. like that chord right there. It's a B flat major 13 sharp 11. Which those of you that have your scale dictionaries out there can only be diatonic, at least to the major scale. It's a 4 chords representing the Lydian mode. So the idea of kind of getting that. Sorry, let me show you what that chord is. Bar your first finger across the 5th fret. Put your second finger at the 6th fret. That is, say, B flat on the 6th string. You're going to basically play a power chord, if you will, with the pinky playing the F at the 8th fret on the 5th string. First finger's barring across the 4th string. That third finger is playing the 3 of that, and that's going to be a D. First finger bars across the E and the A across the top there. B flat major, 13 sharp 11. That is a 1, 5, 6, 3, sharp 4 / sharp 11, and the 7. And collectively, that is just kind of a 1, 3, sharp 4, 1, 3, sharp 4, 5, and 7, which collectively can only be the Lydian mode. But it's a really neat chord, just kind of to let you sit there and just kind of sit static. Now, the neat thing about this is if we think about these trios that I was talking about, chord diary. So, very interesting. I'm nice guitar, by the way. So, Top Gun. So, Pro Tools is available on Windows. Over the years, they've gotten much better in doing it on Windows. Generally, if you're going to spend most of your time on a particular computer creating music, it's a good idea for that computer to be a Mac. The interesting thing about working with Logic, which has been a program, I've used it a little bit here and there. Some of the things about it are counterintuitive. Some of the editing functions I found a little clumsy. But one of the things I was able to do, I was able to open up 5 different songs and be able to work on them and not have to close them, which you can't do in Pro Tools. You can only work on one thing because of the way it utilizes the resources. And one of the things about Logic is because it is now an Apple product. It didn't start off as something that Apple owned, but they do now. Its integration in terms of the way it works with your computer is really streamlined. It works really, really well. Much better than Pro Tools. None of the wacky stuff that happens where it's crashing or doing anything. I had 0 crashes, 0 issues. It worked really, really well. But I am a Pro Tools guy, so I'm kind of figuring this out. Getting back to the thing, Pro Tools for Windows is good. There are some other applications that may be for Windows better. I need to kind of. That's so funny. Get back to this B flat Lydian. Oh, I'm not in B flat anymore. I'm at an M and an A. Now, here's the interesting thing about B flat Lydian. Who can tell me? What's the relative major of B flat Lydian? Spencer Clark. You are correct. So, should we think of this as F major? Should we think of it as B flat Lydian? Great question, Spencer. Well done. So, first of all, how do we figure this stuff out easily? One of the things that we've been doing today, thank you, Philip. Well, for the key of A majors, getting comfortable with thing A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, and A as the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. And the interesting thing about this is that normally I would have done this from either the second finger root fingered modes or the 3-note per string modes, but I happen to see that it would be really easy to see these notes splayed out like that, and there's our 7. And the interesting thing about Frère Jacques is it doesn't actually have the 7. So you can get away with literally playing. So which means you could probably play if you knew that was your 5. Sorry. So that is to say, one of the things that I wanted to touch on, I'm going to go back to this B flat Lydian thing here, Pygmy, in just a moment, is by thinking about things in terms of their note names, I can make some choices about where I'm going to play things, and that's really, I can't stress this enough. Is that quite often guitar players, and I know this because I work with them every week, and I am one. We have a tendency to sometimes be confined by our knowledge. We just kind of like, our knowledge is kind of the edge of kind of where we can travel. And that's okay. Then that means it creates a bridge to get from one place to another. But the problem is sometimes we box ourselves in. So that is to say, if we only use the second finger root modes and the 3-note per string modes. So let's just say with the second finger root modes. Now, interestingly enough, that fingering is actually much more friendly to play this with because the fact it starts, it's basically 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1, 1, 5, 1. So that fingering is actually probably the most conducive versus that one's pretty easy as well. But the point being is we're taking the same thing and playing it in 3 different locations on the neck. Matter of fact, that's probably a really good exercise right there. Because again, let me do it as scale degree numbers. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1, 1, 5, 1, 1, 5, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1, 1, 5, 1, 1, 5, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1, 5, 6, 5, 4, 3, 1, 1, 5, 1, 1, 5, 1. And you can do the same thing with the note names. I'm not going to borrow it. Does that mean I get 2 brownies for today? You get 3 brownies, my friend. All right, so here's the deal. So as I'm thinking about B flat Lydian, should I be thinking about the notes of B flat Lydian, or should I be thinking about the notes of F major? We want to be thinking about the tonal center of whatever key we're in. To Nandini's point about kind of integrating the. So let's say, for example, my chord progression was in, let's take B Dorian. Sorry, my intonation. Hang on a second. Do I have that nail file here? Nail file. There we go. Thank you. That little pinky fingernail is just a little too long, so we're going to have to eradicate that problem. And I've got a lesson I'm going to need to get to in a little bit, so I'm going to cut out just a little bit before 11. But thank you for everybody hanging out today. Much appreciated. If you go to watch the stream, I had a little bit of a snafu this morning. I did finally manage to get rid of the echo on this microphone, so a good 20 minutes was spent trying to debug that, and just everything else kind of went a little bit of a downhill thing. All right, so here's the deal. As I had to say, you may need to skip a little bit forward to get into the lesson, although I may be able to trim the beginning down a little bit. Let's see what happens with that. All right, so the deal is, let's just say I'm picking B Dorian. I'm thinking about B. Okay, now as the reason I picked B Dorian for that example was we spent a lot of time talking about the notes of A major today. But the thing is that B and A are different notes, and when I'm in the key of B Dorian, even though it shares the same 7 notes, sorry. Ah! I need to be thinking about B. Not only that, when it goes to the C sharp chord, I want to think about C sharp a minute. Point being is that whatever is the tonal center is the tonal center. Now, what's cool about that is if you know the notes of F major, R, F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F, that means that if we can start off of that same sequence of notes and just start off the B flat note, B flat, C, D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, sorry. That means that we can begin to kind of go, well, wait a second. Aside from the B flat, the rest are natural note names. So if we know the natural note names, as in E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, and A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, and I'm a little loud for my voice there, hang on a second. D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. But every time we get to a B note, we play B flat. Everything else is the same. I can be thinking about now B flat, D, and F. I can focus on that B flat right there, and that one right there, and that one right there. So let me briefly talk about what I did there and why I did it. So I hit a natural 4 there. All right, I'm in the key of B flat Lydian. Compared to the B flat major scale, Lydian has a sharp 4. So that is to say the notes are going to go B flat, C, D, E, F, G, A, B flat. So on and so forth. So if I took the 3-note per string mode that starts right below there, that is to say at A, and that would be, if you will, the A Phrygian. But instead of playing that A note, I took the A note and really thought about how it relates to that B flat note. That allows me to create a B flat major 7 arpeggio. So that's say if I just go in and go put my first finger at A, put my second finger at B flat, and I want you to do this pretty please. Phil, you have a great one. Do me a favor, put the first finger at A, second finger at B flat at the 5th and 6th frets on the low E string. First finger at D at the 5th fret on the 5th string. And the 4th finger at F on the 8th fret on the 5th string. And just think about being in position there kind of at the 5th fret going 5, 6, 5, 8. You take that and literally cut and paste that and move it up 2 strings and 2 frets. So instead of going, if you will, fingering wise, 1, 2, 1, 4 at the 5th fret on the 6th string, cut and paste that and do that at the 7th fret on the 4th string. So what I did is I went up and down, up, and then jump up the octave. And earlier we talked about kind of doing when we were doing it, getting that first finger, that transition. So when you go to, that's a, you know where you're aiming for, same thing. And then instead of starting at the first finger at the 5th fret or the 7th fret, that top octave is going to have it start at the 10th fret. So it allows us to basically take that sound of that and cut and paste that arpeggio that's basically the tonic chord. And we're basically cutting and pasting that, moving that puppy around. So I'm not focusing on F because F is not the tonal center. Now I might have gone something like, sorry, I should have known that was an F natural. Now I'm basically taking, and I'm taking this B flat major arpeggio. So instead of doing the having that A natural in there, I'm taking, if you will, if those are 4 notes, going A, B flat, D, and F. I'm just going B flat, D, and F, and I'm adding an F down below. Then I'm tapping an A to a B flat on the top. Right? The octave thing is killer. Isn't that, Spencer? I mean, it's just like, whoa. There, what I'm doing is groups of 3 notes. Just kind of messing around with it. That's all right. F and E, not E flat. Now, earlier I was talking about this double thing. We're working the key of A major. That as you kind of climb up the scale, at the beginning there, you got 2 whole steps. The lower side of that, the half step. On the upper side is a half step. So basically, it's just what I call a single double. But as we climb up the scale, when we get to here, at the 4, 5, and 6, 5, 6, and 7, you have what I call a double. And if you think about the Lydian mode, it starts off the 4. So if we think about the Lydian mode started off of here, we can cut right into that sequence. Sorry. Now the deal is, because we got the double here, that's going to be whole and half, half and whole, and a single double. Means that we know, since we're at the 4, half to the 3, whole to the 2, whole to the 1, half to the 7, whole to the 6, whole to the 5, whole to the 4. Kind of makes it kind of easy to begin to navigate that, where I'm not thinking about the note names so much. I'm thinking about this, the splay, if you will, of the whole steps and half step. 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 1, 7, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6. Since I'm starting at the 4, it's at the beginning of the double. So this is kind of one of the, and you can do that slowly. There I went up and down, and up. So put your first finger at the 5th fret on the 6th string, second finger at the 6th fret, first finger at the 5th fret on the 5th string, and the 4th finger at the 8th fret on the 5th string. That is a B flat major 7 arpeggio in 3rd inversion. We're going 7, 1, 3, 5. So we're going to go up, down, up. Cut and paste it, up an octave. Cut and paste it up an octave. Flip it around. And that was a Speaking of harmonics, non-natural harmonics, I hit the note at the 6th fret on the 6th string, which is the B flat, and I hit 12 frets above, created a false harmonic. That was at the 14th and 12th fret. The neat thing about this is if we're in B flat Lydian, whose notes are B flat, C, D, E, F, G, A, B flat. I jump down to the 3-note string mode below there. Instead of playing all 6 notes of the first 6 notes, I just take the 1st and 2nd and 4th and 6th. That gives me that arpeggio. And yes, you can take that same concept. All right, ladies and gentlemen, third inversion. We're getting close to parallel dimensions here. I got to get out of here. Paul, I like that exercise. Thanks so much, everybody. Really appreciate your hanging out. I look forward to seeing you next Saturday. If you go back and watch us, I apologize for the funky start. Gosh darn it. I'll try and clean it up. I can do that on YouTube, but on Facebook it's a little challenging. But there's some good stuff in there, so have fun with that. At least I think there's some good stuff in there. Great hanging out. Always a pleasure. Have a great week, and I look forward to seeing you.